The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. And over here is the boil on the ass of society.
The boil?
Big Bernard.
Big Bernard is in the house, and I am no boil. I am unbelievable. Simply the best.
OMG.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to this installment
the boil has spoken.
of the Ambitchious podcast. And today we're going to talk all about how no one can sabotage your ass unless you allow it, honey.
So
and
true.
this actually came from a friend of mine, and on Facebook, her name is Beatrice on a Journey. So check her out. But we are going to answer your most flaming Cheeto burning hot questions today about sabotage, because I think a lot of people are self-sabotagers. I can be a self-sabotager. We all know that Matt has sabotaged himself more than once in life. That's a given.
Thanks for just putting it out there.
That's a given.
I have sabotaged myself.
Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Of course.
So Beatrice, after you listen to this podcast, email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com to receive your $100 gift certificate to use towards anything KBMFC related. Because I crowdsourced my Facebook.
Yes.
Because I get the best shit from them.
Yeah, and
They're like ride or die Ambitchious.
Go to the source, right? And they'll give
Absolutely.
They give us so much to go with, right?
110%. But before we start today's installment of the Ambitchious podcast, I want to talk a little bit about our most fabulous sponsor, Ayana, owner of Prana Hair, Skin, and Lash. Check her out. Tell her this bitch sent you, and you will get $100 off your first microblading session. You ready to get into this?
I am ready.
Balls deep, Matt.
Balls deep. Ready.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Try to self-sabotage me.
I can't self-sabotage you, sir.
Don't try
Only
to
you can
self-sabotage me.
I can sabotage you, but I can't self-sabotage you, freak show.
Don't allow me to be a self-sabotager. How's that?
I can't help you. Listen,
I think this podcast is going to help a lot of people.
you're making me itchy. I'm having an allergic reaction to you today. I really am.
Is it my hair?
It's my hair. It's itchy today. It's very Sideshow Bob-esque.
It looks beautiful.
That's just
you
curly.
Fixed it.
You
fixed it.
I fixed it? What the fuck did it look like before?
But I'm saying is the
flock of seagulls, for Christ's sakes?
The earpiece was actually on it, crushing it, and I had Ed Sullivan, and I had
It's Mr. Ed Sullivan to you.
Mr. Ed Sullivan.
Okay. Don't
fucking
get it twisted.
Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome. I'm not going to let you go down like that, just being Ed Sullivan. I mean, you are Mr. Ed Sullivan, let's be honest. All right. So here's the deal.
Yes.
I started thinking about this because, Beatrice reached out to me about this and she put it on the Facebook thread. And I was like, okay, self-sabotage. Because we've done a podcast on sabotage before, but it was more sabotage in general. And this is more self-sabotage, because I don't think anything hurts your soul more than when you truly are sabotaging yourself.
Right.
And some people do it like over and over and over again.
Well, I don't think they know that they're doing it, right? They're just like, oh, this thing didn't work out.
Yes.
And if we look at it, because we've been working on this stuff for so long,
Yes.
that we really know when we're
Right.
self-sabotage ourselves, and we can kind of pull ourselves out of it, right?
I do believe this one truth, though. I think that there are people that surround us that really, truly do not want the best for us.
Absolutely.
Do you not agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that sometimes the people that don't truly want the best for us could be our closest family and closest friends and closest coworkers.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to break down the reasons that other people can help you self-sabotage, but you are the one that has to be like, oh, this person is trying to sabotage me. I'm not going to allow it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So 5 reasons Number one, this is the first question you have to ask yourself when it comes to the self-sabotage is, do the people around me have a crabs in a bucket mentality?
That's good.
You know about the crabs in the bucket, right? You were talking about it on the last podcast.
I think we talked about just a little bit, but it's
a couple podcasts ago you were talking about
it's a
crabs
real
in the
thing.
bucket.
It's a real thing.
So the crabs in the bucket mentality. So consider this, right? If you're talking to a friend who has most of their money invested, let's say in real estate, if you say to them, hey, do you think that I should invest my money in real estate? What do you think they're going to say?
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Because if they don't say that, then they're making themselves look like they made a bad decision.
Right.
Or they don't know what they're talking about. So of course, they're going to say, yeah, of course, invest in real estate. Yeah. That's a great idea, right? Or even better, whatever your bad quality is in life that you share with someone close to you, hear me out. So say bad eating habits or drinking too much. I'm just pointing. If you guys are listening to this, I'm pointing.
I have been on the wagon.
To the right.
I have been on the
friggin' bourbon.
The Tito's wagon. Trying to get on the wagon.
And the Budweiser Clydesdales are actually pulling that wagon. Right?
I can move pretty quick if I have to.
So if you have a friend that's like, just like loves to eat like shit or drinks way too much. And you like go to that person, whether it's a family member or a friend, and you're like, oh, I really think I'm going to start like eating better. Or I think I'm going to like be sober.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to say to you? Oh, I'll give you 24 hours before that's over.
Yeah,
or,
that's over.
Good luck. Or shit like that, right?
Well, they'll support you. And then when you start making progress, then they'll start sabotaging you then.
That also happens.
Right? Yeah.
So the crabs in the bucket mentality is about, okay, so you put crabs in a bucket and say they're all kind of crawling on top of each other. One crab can always pretty much crawl out of the damn bucket.
Right.
But as soon as that one crab gets to the top of the bucket and he's like almost over the bucket, all the other crabs are like, get back in here, Fred. Right? They pull him back in. Yes. And then no one gets out. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, do the people around you have crabs in a bucket mentality? And many times in my life, no more really, because I've pretty much excommunicated all those people from my life. But before, I had a lot of people around me.
Yes.
And that's true.
Oh my God, I think we all have.
But you always say to me like, oh my God, before you had a bunch of fucking heathens around you. He always says this to me.
You attract a good bunch. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
But before I really did, right? Because I want everybody to like me. And then as soon as you start doing something a little bit more leveled up than them, they're like, oh, we got to take you down a couple notches.
Yes.
So ask yourself, the first question is, are the people around you, do they have crabs in a bucket mentality? And if they do, you know what to do. Cut a bitch out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
yes.
Right?
Bye-bye.
So number 2 question is the person giving me advice qualified in this field or specialization? Right?
Yeah, that's huge.
We always go, and I see this all the time with my friends and family and clients and coworkers or whatever. They'll go to people and ask them questions that have no fucking like accolades whatsoever to be answering the question for that person.
The neighbor. Right, and living with your neighbor, and let's say I grew up kind of like middle class, broke,
yes.
right? And
lower middle class.
I should ask the guy across the street what he's doing. I'm like, why would you? Even then, I was like, Dad, why do you want to ask him? I don't think he knows what the fuck he's doing.
No
we
shit.
Could probably give him information.
It's so right? freaking true.
But it's I actually grew up that way. But I did find some good people to start asking questions. And like I always told you, martial arts helped me get around people that were high performers in martial arts, right? And I said, well, if this works for martial arts, it works for everything, right? So if I can find somebody that knows business really great, I can ask them questions.
100%.
And then now we have people always around us that we can always get the answer to a business problem, a physical problem, a health problem, whatever problem.
Like I have my people for each one of my things. Like I can ask certain people for spiritual advice.
Yes.
I know I'm not going to be asking them for advice on food.
Right. Or
not that I need that, but like I'm just giving an example, right? Yeah. Or, I have people that I ask for financial advice, but I'm not going to ask them how to like raise a child. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you have to know what the source is.
What their expertise is.
Right.
And if somebody's really successful in business, they probably have an idea to kind of help you out. They've probably struggled with the same things you're going through if they've made it to a certain point.
And sometimes you can't tell like small-minded people your big dreams either. No. You have to also really recognize that.
Yes.
Because I hear like so many of my clients are like, oh, well, I told my mother about like my plans for opening this business. And she looked at me like cross-eyed. And I'm like, Your mother has never fucking left the house. She's never owned a business. And no offense to this, because I think this is a job in itself, but she's been a stay-at-home mom her whole life.
Right.
So of course she's going to look at you like, oh my God, you want to put, $500,000 into a startup?
Yes. And I don't think
she'll shit a purple Twinkie.
I think a lot of times too is they're really looking out for you, so they're not doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it in a loving way.
Loving way. I don't think they know, but they're killing your dreams, right? They're killing your dreams. And I mean, my job was supposed to be. Do you remember?
He was going to be a mail carrier.
My parents said, Matthew, go in the post office.
Can you see this fucker coming, showing up like shit? I'm going to see him stuffing all the mail in the fucking thing like.
I know why people go fucking postal. I mean,
oh shit!
They call it postal for a fucking reason.
Can you see this, Mr. Ed Sullivan?
I think it would
with his little carrier bag and his little outfit.
I'm picturing him in the summertime with the mailman shorts
and the chain that opens the boxes
and some little dog chasing him down the street.
Yes, and him macing the dog in the face.
But my parents, I said, well, I love sales, I love business, I love this, and they're like, Matthew, get in the post office. You get set. You'll have your retirement.
It's safe.
I'm already thinking. I'm like 19 years old. I fucking think about dying in my retirement because when you retire, you fucking die. You have no reason to get up anymore.
Right.
Right.
But is it so true?
And I would be a postman.
Oh my God.
And I would be trying to find you out there and trying to mail a letter.
I wouldn't probably be knowing you or your kind.
You thought I would look good in those shorts.
I mean, we could play that later if you want, but...
I was going to say, either that or next Halloween party, I will be the postman. I will give my mother her wish.
Can you imagine? Well, I'm sure, my mother probably didn't see me going into the field that I went into. I mean, if it was up to her, I'd probably have been a nurse.
So I was.
Do you see that fucking bedside manner?
Oh, Jesus. That wouldn't be good.
Right?
Yeah, no.
I'm like, get your shit together.
Stop buzzing that damn thing. You don't need any more morphine. Shut up.
Or I would be like,
stop complaining.
Myself. Right? I would be that lady.
There'd be some pills missing.
Oh, saying. Absolutely. Can you imagine? Oh my God. No, but that's the thing is they want us to have the safety net because they don't want to see us hurt.
Right.
And you know, as well as I know, because we're both entrepreneurs, that it's a scary fucking place sometimes.
It's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. And I was successful in the healthcare business and I was already doing very, very well. And I was younger, but I had a great, following, a lot of doctors I worked with. And she was even then, she goes, Matthew, I just don't know how you go up and ask them for business. I go, yeah, that's how everything moves in this world.
Right.
I mean, nothing sold, nothing
But your mom never worked.
No, she worked, when she met my dad.
What did she do? Do you know?
Office work.
So clerical type stuff.
Clerical type work.
Yeah.
And she just couldn't understand. She goes, I was in the doctor's today seeing my doctor and I saw probably a pharmaceutical rep or somebody come in.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just felt so bad because they could just say no. And they did say no. They said, we don't have time for you today. She goes, I would just die. And I'm like this going, I get told that every, by 9 o'clock in the morning, I've heard 14 no's.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking for my 5 yeses. I'm going to,
or one.
Or one
Absolutely.
yes during the day. Or set up an appointment, 3 months down the road to meet with a certain doctor or whatever the case may be. And I just don't think they get it. I don't think she got it. I don't think she was doing it, I think she was looking out for me.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't want you to go through rejection. I don't want you to go through pain.
Right.
And you can't save somebody from that. They have to do their work.
Absolutely. And Jim Rohn said once, and I'm obviously paraphrasing, you're the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So you got to make sure the people, the sum, those 5 people all are bringing something to the table, and hey, I can bounce this thing off of her, and I can bounce that thing off of this person or whatever, and feel total trust in that. Because if you have one person they say look at the circle of friends that you have, and if they're not helping you go to the next level, you're not in a circle, you're in a cage.
You're in a cage. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And when you say bringing things, it could be just love. It could be just oh my God, I'm sitting there with this person and I just can talk to them all day long. They're funny. They're nice people.
Right.
They legitimately want your success. You legitimately want their success, not in every area of life.
And I have a hard time with this number 2 because I want to see all of my friends succeed.
Yes.
Swear to you. I'm not just saying that because it sounds good on the podcast.
More than they do.
Well, that's one of my big problems because I see people's potential more than they see it for themselves, which makes me really great at what I do. But then I also can derive a lot of my self-worth from if they do well, then I feel better about myself. Right. And that's not good either.
But you don't do that anymore. Now it's like, something, I gave them the tools. It's up to them to do the work now.
100%.
Right? You can't drive the bus for them. You can't, what do you call it? Puppet them through life.
And I did that for so long. I was like fucking Geppetto. He's a real boy.
He's a real boy now. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, but then I would be like at night, like laying in bed, like, I hope that so-and-so did their thing today. I hope that this person's not cheating on their meal plan. I hope that this person's, I'm like, like it would just drive me crazy. Yeah. It's so true. They have to use the tools. So is the person giving me advice qualified in this field or specialization?
That's good.
Question number 2, right? Question number 3, is this person my true friend or are they a frenemy?
That's a good question. Yeah,
you have some frenemies.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Colleagues.
Oh yeah. I don't even call them frenemies. I just know who their enemies.
No, but no. Like, hear me out. Yeah. It's like you see a colleague that you work with, and you're like, "Hey, Matt," like smiling, and they shake your hand, and I'll literally look at Matt and I'll go, "That motherfucker wants you dead."
I already know they want
that motherfucker wants you dead, and he'll just go, "I know, I know."
I mean, he's not in my circle. They're not in my circle. They're just people that I work with, or whatever in life, whether it be people I worked with years ago, and you just kind of just you know that, but there's always like 2 or 3 people that you will always gravitate towards, and they sincerely are looking to help you rise.
Totally.
Help you rise. And you want them to do well.
Yeah.
Right? So, but we're all in the same boat where either they're doing much better than me and they can kind of help me with things, either physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, or they're right where I am and they're trying to get to the next level too. Totally. And then we can kind of, that doesn't work. That was painful. Don't do that. Or I was struggling with this, 2 years ago and this is how I overcame it.
Definitely.
That's a good, that's not a friend of me. That's somebody that really wants to see you succeed. And I think we've gotten rid of a lot of people that were just like clinging.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Certain reasons and whatnot.
Oh, totally. 100%. Yeah. I remember when I had my television show years ago on Style Network, and it was under NBC Universal, right? So it was on the Style. That was like the main component of the network, right? Yes. And then it was show on Bravo and it was show on E and it was under like the big conglomerate, right?
Yes.
So I'll never forget when we found out that, well, I didn't know this yet. We found out this later, but Style actually went bankrupt in the United States. And they sold to the Esquire network, which is like an all-male network, and they have like American Ninja Warrior on that television show or whatever.
I know what it is.
And it's so funny because there was like this one girl that was on the show with me, and the whole time she was just, she was obviously showing up because she was getting a paycheck and she was becoming famous and all this stuff, but she was just so seethingly jealous of me the whole time that we were doing the show because it was my show, so I got to go on Dr. Oz. I got to go on like the press tours, all that stuff.
You were on the billboard by yourself,
right? And oh my God, when I was on the billboard by myself for my show, like on 93, you'd go into the city in Boston, and you'd be like, "Holy fuck!" There's a whole billboard of me with like, and they would be like, "Oh, I saw your billboard today," like all this shit. I'm like, okay.
No, I'd be driving by it all day long. Like,
Matt would just keep going up there, climbing up there, taking selfies with it.
How the hell did I do it? Good thing I'm not a postman.
Yep. But she's like, I hate this show. I hate being on this show. Like she'd always say shit like this. But then she would go out to California and like schmooze with like all the executives and stuff. I'm like, So she was kind of like trying to do like a whole side.
But they told you, like, why does she keep coming out here?
I don't fucking know. She's a crazy bitch. But I'll never forget the day. It was after one of your holiday parties, and we woke up, and the first text that I woke up to was like, "Oh, the show has been canceled. We're not getting a season 2."
Yes.
And it was like, you always have to look at the person who brings you the bad news, right? Yeah. It's like that, I don't fuck with you, right? Like the Big Sean song.
Yes.
He's like, why you always bring me bad news? Hoping I win, I don't win and I always lose or whatever the hell. It's so freaking true. Yeah. So you have to like look at people like that. That was when that day was when I was like, oh, I see you for who you are today.
Yes.
And you were telling me it for forever.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn your own lessons,
right?
Oh,
absolutely. And don't forget this too. Your frenemy could be your mother. Your frenemy could be a cousin. It could be your boyfriend. It could be your best friend. It could be like a coworker. It doesn't have to be like your friend.
Right.
You're like, whatever. It could come in all shapes and forms, right?
Yeah.
So ask yourself, is this person my true friend, or do I get this nagging feeling in my gut, in my intuition that this person really doesn't want the best for me?
And if they always have bad news for you, like, oh, so-and-so said this about you, and I got to tell you what this person said about you and all this stuff. And it's like, why are they talking to you about it? You guys are in fucking cahoots.
Jay-Z once said...
she's telling you about it.
Oh, it's so true.
This person, you're in with them. Because how do they feel comfortable? Because if somebody said something about, like, let's say Jeremy.
Yes.
I'd be like, you're a fucking asshole. Yeah. And I'm out of here.
Oh, you would like go loco 40 on them.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So you're not going to tell me anything bad about someone I care about or love. So...
One of my favorite quotes by Jay-Z is, don't tell me what they said about me. Tell me why they were so comfortable to say it to you. Just sit with that for a fucking second.
Yeah.
So when people are always like, oh, I saw so-and-so and she was talking shit about you. If you were truly my friend, that you wouldn't even fucking entertain that shit.
Entertain it, and you wouldn't even say it to the person.
No.
Right? Is it bringing anything to you?
No.
No. You probably already know already.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I have people that talk so much shit about people to me, and I'll literally look at them and be like, shut the fuck up. That is my person, whatever. And my friend will never know that they said that about them because I already quelled that shit.
Right.
Because I'm ambitious.
Yeah.
Right?
And gossip is a waste of fucking time. I should be doing something constructive.
Unless we're gossiping about you and your holy underwear.
Well, you can talk about my underwear. I know I have a problem.
I'm going to sell them on, what's that thing called?
eBay.
eBay? Yeah. I had a friend that I did pageants with when I was younger, and she
sold underwear?
She
underwear
was made thousands and thousands of dollars. Dude, listen. She went to Harvard. This is a true story, Mr. Ed Sullivan.
He's like,
No, I believe the story. I just don't believe there's much value in Matt's underwear.
No, my underwear is not going to be selling on anything.
Nope. No. Well, you never know. I mean, hey, listen, as my grandmother always said, there's a seat for every ass. There's a seat for every ass.
And a pair of underwear for that ass as well. And they don't want my assy.
There might be some people that dig that shit. I don't fucking
want my assy underwear.
But I'll never forget this as long as I live. My girlfriend that used to do pageants, she was gorgeous. And it was back, remember MySpace? Do we remember? MySpace was fun. Yeah. So she would sell her dirty underwear on MySpace, and then she would sell them on eBay. So she would literally take like underwear that she didn't like, and then she would have her boyfriend like run them up and down his ass cheeks like after he took a shit, and she would sell them for like thousands of dollars. And the extra dirty they were, the more money that it would get.
Oh,
I'm just telling you. Hey, anybody out there? This is a money-making thing. If you're a hot piece of ass, sell your damn dirty underwear.
Yes.
I could sell mine, and Matt has a dirty ass, so I could get a pretty penny for those motherfuckers.
The poor bastard who's buying it, thinking that it's your ass. This boyfriend is laughing his way to the bank too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get back to sabotage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next week on Ambitchious podcast, how to make money selling your dirty underwear.
This is getting a little bit off topic.
Oh, like this is the first Ambitchious podcast that hasn't been off topic.
Stay on point.
Oh, ready then. You ready to move on?
You think I could get any money for my underwear?
Hey, honestly, like you never fucking know. You really don't. I know a lot of guys out there that would love your undies.
I think I'll throw them in the trash.
They're big and hairy, and they like to wear leather.
I'll never sleep again. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm all set.
Can't even take it. This is turning into a freaking Frankie and Grace or Grace and Frankie episode, right?
Unbelievable.
All right, question number 4. Okay, so hear me out because this might be a new concept to you guys out there in Ambitchious land. Question number 4. Is this the mirror effect? So sometimes your success holds a mirror up to people and their shortcomings. When you succeed, it makes them feel inferior. Well, actually, to be more blunt, they allow your success to make them feel inferior. It is their failure reflected back on them from you shining your light, right? So people who truly care for you and show it, not just in words, but in actions, are always happy for you, whatever happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So every so often, something good, I'll just give an example. Something good will happen to me, and I'll be like, oh, this thing happened to me. And everyone in the room is like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And you see that one motherfucking puss. They can't even hide it. It's like hilarious to me. Right. And I'll just be like, oh, I got your number, motherfucker. I'll just put that in my back pocket real quick.
Yes.
And I take that, like you ever take like a mental image in your mind of like that moment with the person.
Snapshot.
Yeah. And you've seen it before too.
Yeah.
Or like,
tons.
I think when I did pageants when I was younger, the worst was when you look out into the audience and everyone's clapping for you, and then there's like those fucking couple people that are just like pissed off that they're like dotted.
Crossed,
their daughter didn't win, or their girlfriend didn't win or whatever. Like, and
it's no class.
And then you remember the people that weren't clapping for you. Like that, instead of you saying, oh my God, look at all these people that are like so happy for me. You see that one motherfucker in the audience. It's just sour and salty.
Yeah. Oh, right? And they got the people like, oh my God, Katie's, successful, or she did this or she did that. And it must be nice, or it must be nice to be able to. They don't see that you've been working your ass off.
Cookies more than that, let me tell you.
The last 25 years, having a business, nobody coming some days, somebody coming some days, paying the bills, paying payroll, doing all the stuff that it takes. I mean, you have to put the time in. And
totally. Has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely.
Like you've been recognized in certain ways, and then you everyone's happy, and then you see that one person that's just like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. People I used to train with, in martial arts when I was getting ready to go for a competition. I mean, people that would, I had one guy that was in the same school as me. And I was late to a competition. It was in Boston, and it was a world championship.
Matt, late to something? That's not like him.
I got stuck in traffic, and I got there just right in time. And I handed the judge my, my application saying I'm weighed in, I'm ready to go. And the guy who I was training with goes, "Wait a second, this is way too late. He shouldn't be able to be in this competition."
He was your training partner?
Not my training partner.
But like
we
someone
would spar, and I would always beat his ass. So he's like, wait a second. And he thought he could take it that day. And the judge goes, no, we got a couple minutes. This event, the other event isn't on yet. And I was like, you fucker, I'm going to kill you.
Did you kill him?
Yeah, obviously.
Did you murder him?
Yeah.
Did you murder him?
I murdered him. And it was like, I was like, oh, this is great. This gave me a lot of incentive.
That was the best thing that he could have done for you, because it made you pissed off and it made you.
Nobody else said anything. And this guy I see every day, he's like, nope, time is over. I can't believe you're allowing him to compete. I'm like, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's people like that.
Oh, believe me, sir, I know. You don't have to tell me fucking twice. Yes. I lived like that my whole entire life.
I just got a little upset about it again.
Matt was foaming. You guys can't really see because but there's some foam. You're fucking,
it's not for my coffee.
God, you're an animal. Last but not least, this is the fifth question that you should ask. Is this the earthquake response? Have you ever heard of this?
I never heard of that.
So the earthquake response to sabotage has to do with the fact that sometimes people hate to see you succeed so much that it actually rocks the very ground beneath them. It knocks them down, shatters their comfort zones, and in turn, they feel insecure and inadequate. Right? Have you ever had this happen to you?
I probably have, but something, they're hurting puppies. If they have to really, what your success is doing to make them feel that bad about themselves, this is a free country.
Totally.
You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. No, you just don't want to do it, and you want to be jealous or mad or angry about somebody else's success. Everyone I see that's successful, I get jazzed. I'm like, I know how hard it is. If you made it, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
It's why there's 2% and there's 1% and there's whatever, 5%, right? So you're doing something right. I mean, and you worked your freaking ass off. I mean, the chances of inheriting millions of dollars from a dead uncle or becoming fit or becoming, a great trainer, a great singer, a great musician, whatever it is that you're doing, it took a lot of freaking work. And
but people don't see the struggle. They just see
was one thing that was like, oh my God, I would love to be a pianist. Somebody said like that person we just listened to. A pianist.
Oh.
I would love to be a pianist. Yes. Oh, I have one.
He's like, I love to be a pianist. I'm like, where is this going, sir?
No, I would love to be a pianist. And then the other person goes,
pianist.
A pianist. All right, not a pianist.
It was the note on the end that made me really question that.
And the pianist, and it's like, you don't want to be that caliber of pianist. This person's been working their penis since they've been 5 years old. They've been working.
You've been working your penis for a long more time than that, my friends.
Hours on end just working the penis.
The peppermint twist. The peppermint twist.
The piano.
Okay.
All right. You get what I'm saying.
Well, I want to be a flautist.
We had a good laugh, but you know what I'm talking about.
Kristen's dying.
I know.
Kristen is crying right now. No, I understand about the pianist thing. I always work my penis.
Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
Please. Now you were saying about it must be nice. Yeah. That's the earthquake effect.
It is.
So I'll give you an example.
I know what it is then.
So that's not really the mirror effect. The earthquake effect is when the person's like, must be nice to be you. And you're like, motherfucker, it is. It is nice to be me. Thank you.
Yeah, because it's about fucking time. I've been working my ass off since I was 8.
And when you have to hide who you are to make other people feel secure about themselves, they are saboteurs, right? So I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, we were in Paris for like 3 weeks, and that's been a dream of mine my whole entire life. Like I have been manifesting that my whole life, and
it was awesome.
I wanted to stay. My like dream was to stay at the Four Seasons, the George Cinq, which is like the most incredible hotel.
And who surprised you with that, my love?
Myself, because I work like a motherfucking bitch.
I made the reservation, but I used your money.
That's true. Oh man, that pianist.
Thank God you're a pianist.
But I remember like talking about it to someone, and I was like, oh my God, and we stayed at the Four Seasons George Cinq, and like, you know, I was telling them all about it, and you could just see their face like in disgust. And she says, oh, must be nice. When I went to Paris, we stayed in like a fucking, what are those things called? Hostel.
I'd stay home.
Damn, I'd rather just stay underground with all the skeletons in the friggin' chambers.
I'll stay in my backyard.
Oh my God.
Have a cigar.
But I knew
I don't have to travel.
Right?
Don't have to do anything.
But I knew right then and there, I'm like, shut your fucking mouth. Do not tell this person one more thing, because they do not understand what you're doing. And this is like, it was like hurting this woman to hear this stuff.
Yes.
So if you see the earthquake effect, that is the 5th question. Ask yourself, is this the earthquake effect? You'll see it happen. They'll say things like, oh, must be nice to be you, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different than the mirror effect, because the mirror effect is like you're holding the mirror up to their inadequacies and you can see the disgust. But the earthquake effect is like really, it's literally rocking their world.
Rocking the world.
Yeah. So I hope that this helped all of you guys, because I know that each and every one of us out there in Ambitchious land, we are surrounded sometimes with some broke ass house, okay, honey? Thank you guys
spiritually broke.
Yeah, spiritually broke. Yeah, it's not all about that. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for sharing this. Thank you guys for being crusaders to this ambitious movement. Like I always say, see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.